Something seems off. Oh, I know. Hey, it's Christmas Eve in a few weeks. The season of gaming, joy, and love. And we're going to celebrate all of that in a single game. Well, it just doesn't get much better than this. LEGO Indiana Jones 2 The Adventure Continues is one of the games of all times, an A franchise, made as a sequel to the product that preceded it. Enough meandering. This game is the best game ever. You want to know why? You don't want to know. You want to know why? You don't want to know. You want to know why? What's that?
It is I, the ghost of Christmas Present.
Big! I don't like ghosts. What are you doing here anyways? I thought Jacob Marley's supposed to be the first one who visits. And whatever happened to the ghost of Christmas past?
Listen, dude. Some money got moved around. A bunch of people got laid off, alright? This is my paycheck for the month. Okay, you're lucky you're being haunted in the first place.
Am I?
Yes, I'm going to help you get over your nostalgia blindness by making you review a game without any bias.
What? As with any great story, let's start from the beginning, or in this case, the end. As in LEGO Indiana Jones 2, the game starts on the fourth Indiana Jones movie, which, in hindsight, seems so weird and bizarre. But this is because the first LEGO Indiana Jones movie already covered the movies 1 through 3, and the sequel is really made to cover the fourth movie, which is shown in the fact that it has 3 times the amount of levels. We open on a cutscene of Charles sending Indy on a new mission to get a vase. This leads to him digging in the, presumably, Arizonan desert. But uh-oh, here comes the commies. Not again. This ice cream truck follows the Russians, and now I can't help but think that he regularly caters Russian parties. So we're sent on a mission to push around metal to find a big box. So we break some boxes, build a robot, laser his nipples, put out the fire, burn Russians, done. Easy enough, fun Star Wars reference here that I didn't get until now. After this level, we get to explore this cute little neighborhood with a curious launch pad right in the middle of it. I wonder if this will be important later. Next, Indiana Jones walks into this random house and uh-oh, nuclear explosions test. Not again! So now we have to break everything in this poor mannequin's family's home so we can hop into a fridge and survive the blast. Now, I have to admit something, and it's a doozy. You might have noticed throughout this level that I made a substantial amount of studs, and it's because I'm a cheater. I'm sorry to everyone I've misled. I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. But I do, however, expect you to hear me out. Video games are meant to be fun, and since it's a single-player game, I'm only hurting myself. And I mean, making boatloads of cash is really fun. And, come on, just listen to the music of these studs collecting. Okay, level 3. Time to beat up some nerds in this brawling level. Okay, that went by too fast. I guess we have to think of something else to do. I guess we could take a look at the hub world of Crystal Skull Part 1. Many people have issues with this game, which I might get to later, but something undeniable is how cool the hub worlds are. You could spend an hour just exploring any of these hub worlds. Even this hub, which I would say has the least offer, is still incredibly fun and unique to explore. The way Traveler's Tales designed LEGO Indiana Jones 2 hubs is also really cool. It takes the area of each level and puts them all together in a single map. You can walk from the city to the nuclear test zone to the storage facility all on foot. This design also leads to some funny maps where Indy goes to widely different terrains, which we'll see on the next movies. In each hub world, there are characters and vehicles you can buy from either completing levels or doing races. Many have criticized this game for having filler characters, and I can't say they're wrong. And you definitely won't catch me saying they're right, because this game is perfect. But if I had to explain why they might say this game has filler characters, in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull Part 1, there are 18 characters, and only 6 of them are named. I mean, 4 of them are mannequins. But you know what? That's a good thing. Probably. I mean, if you're a completionist, that probably gives you more stuff to do. Each hub also has 3 different breaks you get by doing specific actions. In this movie, you have to break 10 of each: fire hydrants, flower pots, and cacti. The selections for the breaks may seem pretty random, because they are, but when you find them all, you unlock extras. Red is money multipliers, green is cosmetics and funny stuff, and blue are gameplay changes. You can also unlock these using cheat codes. And last but definitely least is the secret levels. I kid, of course, they aren't all bad. Throughout the hub, you can find 5 different secret levels that are all made in the game's level builder, and we'll get back to those later. But these bikers are getting away, so I need to hop on this bike and drive around so I can run them over and destroy their cars. Whoa, that level blows. I hope we won't have to play a level like that again in the other movies. Well, don't fret. After you beat the level, you get the opportunity to unlock Agent. Let's just go on to the next level. Okay, this one might remove the bad taste the driving level left in my mouth. This level is a boss level. On a train! Tell me something better than that. I'm gonna be sued for that one. This boss fight is more of a puzzle than a fight, but so is any great boss. For this guy, you have to whip onto this pole and then jump onto one of these 2 ropes to make the claw fall down onto the train so you can beat it up. I can't help but imagine how much that would hurt. After you break each claw 3 times, you can put a grappler on the right claw, allowing you to climb into the control room and finally punch the communism right out of these 2 guys, while also killing a whole train of citizens in the process. I just love LEGO games. Right after you beat the boss, you're shown a cool animation of indie dancing, followed by how much of the game you completed. Way to put me down as a failure. After the credits, you're greeted with 3 presents to open: Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull Part 2, and the level creator. Now, I'm sure the developers would want me to play Part 2 next, but honestly, that's stupid. If they give me the option to play correctly, I will. Wait a second, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull Part 1 only says I'm 57% complete. Oh no. Yeah, so it turns out that each world actually has 15 levels. A night version of each of the main story levels, levels made in the level builder, and a secret level you unlock by beating all the levels. I might have to stay in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull a bit longer. For the sake of time, we'll go through these quickly. Going back to the storage facility, it introduces a mechanic I really adore. At the start of the level, it will show you what types of characters you need to beat the level, and then you have to leave and find those characters so you can progress through the level. Once you get into the level... Oh my god. This is a new level! Yes, on many but not all night variations of levels, they're actually completely different levels. It's always great when a great game gives you more greatness to great. Wait. This level has you completing actions to receive 2 vehicles so you can drive them over 2 buttons, allowing you to finish the level. Pretty simple, it's fun but forgettable. A common theme we'll see arise with these. Next level is the nuclear fallout of the mannequin's house. This alternative version is actually so cool. First of all, you get to see the destruction, and then you eventually get to bring life to the mannequins with music. But uh-oh, they want to kill you. Not again. In this level, you get to explore what's left of the house you played in the first time. You have to find a way to maneuver through the ruins and climb to the roof to complete this level. This one is really interesting because you have to explore the level in reverse order, and you have to discover how to get to the areas that were previously open but are now blocked by rubble. I would say that without a doubt, this level is one of the most memorable extra levels in the game. Now, we could go to the next level, but in the meanwhile, I've discovered this rocket ship. I don't even need to play the rest of the game. This is all I need. Night level number 3 makes you play as the local rat exterminator, as you have to kill 10 of the little buggers. The next level is another driving level, but instead of vehicular manslaughter, you get to ram into 10 balloons. This level isn't bad, but ultimately it's better to just drive where the balloon is and then jump out of the car and just jump into the balloon. Finally, one more level of Crystal Skull left. We're back on the train and have some target practice. Not a high point to end it, but it's LEGO Indiana Jones 2. The adventure continues. This game is perfect. Now, there are 5 more levels, but they're basic levels made with a level builder, so there's not much to look at, talk about, and they're all pretty unmemorable. But since I 100%ed it anyways, I can't not show you the reward. After each level you beat, a chest appears in front of this mysterious launchpad, and once you beat all the levels, you break these chests and build a spaceship. You can then fly up to be greeted to this level where you were tasked to collect 1,000,000 studs. And it's no easy task, as my log breaking isn't permitted here, and I actually have to manually get the 1,000,000 studs. But despite the high number, these levels are actually really fun since you break everything in your sight and collect studs galore. So now we're faced with a choice. Play Raiders of the Lost Ark or continue on to Crystal Skull Part 2. Okay, let's go on to Raiders. Now, to start out, I think my biggest complaint with Raiders is the fact that they completely skip over the totem section where Indy has to escape from a rolling boulder. But let's go on. This first level is a boss fight in which you have to use this laser aiming at you and redirect it back to Major. It's a simple fight, but if you give me the chance to beat up Nazis, I'm gonna beat up Nazis. Next up is another beat 'em up level, but I much prefer this one over the first since the environment here is much larger and far more interesting. Let's go on. Something I really admire in this game is the fact that most of the time they use the hub world as another puzzle to access the levels. For instance, in this next level you have to discover where the level is, then use your new character Sala to dig up a rock and crash it into this trapdoor that gives you access to the level. For the level itself, it introduces some interesting mechanics such as Indiana Jones' fear of snakes and the use of an object to clear the floor. The level itself has some incredible props, and you finally see the Ark. But uh-oh, it's level 4. What the heck? Go back! Go back! Yeah, so there's more driving levels, and somehow this one's worse than the last one. At the very start, they put you on horses, which do no damage to the vehicles, but eventually you can get a car to destroy them. After a few rounds of homicide, you have to destroy larger vehicles, and I spent 5 minutes just ramming into them to have nothing happen. I even just started jumping on them in an attempt to destroy them, but that also didn't work. I eventually found a larger truck that I could steal, and only then could I break them. The only good thing I can say about this level is the part where you steal the Ark back, but that is a very short segment and the negatives far outweigh the positive. Wait, this game is perfect. I mean, the driving sections can be tedious, but if you look at them from a different perspective, I'm sure they're fun. Going on. And that brings us to one of the coolest things I have ever seen. Ever. This last level in Raiders is the Ark boss fight, and it's amazing. You have to build reflectors to beam lasers back at the giant laser monster. A great callback to the first boss in the movie. Now before we continue on to Temple of Doom, and spoiler, it's my favorite, I think we should first take a look at the hub world and secret level of Raiders of the Lost Ark. I especially love this hub world because it's so bipolar. Literally. Within 10 steps, you can go from the snowy mountains of Nepal to the sands of Cairo. It's so absurd, and I love it. The bonus level here is a volcano, and once again, you have to collect 1 million studs. I think these levels are great rewards for beating everything, but they do all look the same, and they don't relate much to the movie that they're in. And now, the prequel we've all been waiting for. Temple of Doom starts strong with the beautiful Shanghai hub world. But don't worry, because the joy doesn't last long, as we head straight into another driving level. Although all these driving levels suck, this one might be one of the best. It starts you out with a vehicle that doesn't suck, and later in the level you have to go into a smaller vehicle because, for some reason, you can throw bombs in it. This level is rather short, so you don't have to worry about it for too long. Afterwards, you jump into a plane so you can jump out of the plane and continue the plot.
Speaking of, you're doing great. You know, a few hiccups, yes, but you're showing me you can play a game unbiased.
Really? What did I do wrong? How do I fix it?
No. This is good. You're changing.
Again? I hope it's less awkward this time.
Just play the game.
In this next level, you have to find the 3 sacred stones that were stolen by monkeys. Another gem and a pile of diamonds. The best part of any LEGO game is the LEGO humor, and that is evident in this level where, although completely unnecessary to the plot, they make you trade bananas with monkeys, and only at the end makes the real plot happen. The level ends with you hopping onto an elephant to fly to the final boss, but it doesn't launch with all the weight. Once you hop off the elephant, however, it flies far into the heavens. How interesting. Level 3, murder some Indians. Next.
Whoa. Are you going a bit fast?
Well, it's just sorta all the same.
Oh, that's great. You're admitting the negatives of the game.
I thought you were supposed to be a ghost, not a therapist.
I thought you were supposed to be playing LEGO Indiana Jones 2 The Adventure Continues.
Here we have a puzzle boss fight where you gotta catch this kid on fire, and it's a giant rock. No. Woo! Now, undeniably, this is one of the best and coolest looking boss fights in the entire game. The whole concept is that you have to throw water to put out the fire in the statue's foot. Then you have Short Round crawl through and beat the crap out of Mola Ram. Then use Indiana Jones to rip off the statue's arms. This fight is an enema in a controller. Every aspect of the boss is amazing. They even have Short Round make silly faces as he moves through the statue. Name anything better than that. Woo! And now, after hours of playing, we're finally on the last level, the Last Crusade. Hello? No. No. 3 more? Well, it turns out there's actually 3 more levels. Time to start speedrunning. Boat boss fight, pretty mediocre, bombs are annoying, level 2. Indy meets Daddy, women bad, fire escape, like Lisa.
Going a bit fast.
Indiana Jones, beat up dudes, next. Driving level, screw off, next. Test your faith, fight an old guy, next. Okay, on to Crystal Skull Part 2. Build a map while avoiding crazy people, next. Fight some natives, find an alien, chase a kid, steal the alien, level 3. Lose the alien, kill some commies, be angry, next. Driving level, but you start in an industrial woodcutter, not awful, but it still sucks, next. Kill some ants. Part 3 now. Car Mechanic Simulator 2009, next. Driving level, driving level, driving level, driving level, driving level, another driving level. I just can't take this anymore.
Oh, hey, where are you going?
That game. I can't. Not anymore. Every level reuses the same boring and frustrating mechanics as the last. They're all just clones of each other. I thought that game was my favorite. But ultimately, it was just nostalgia, built on lies. That game is the worst.
I think I might have pushed you too far. Oh. Just because you've seen the game in a different way from when you were a kid doesn't mean it is a different game. Sure, it may not be the best designed, or have the best graphics, or have the best driving mechanics, but it has you. All I wanted you to do is to enjoy a game from a design perspective. That doesn't mean that your nostalgia should downplay how good LEGO Indiana Jones 2 is, because it is a good game, and you know that.
Okay, let's finish this. 3 more levels. 3 more levels. This one is a boss level where you first find 2 heads for a statue to cause a big boulder to roll down, making the boss fall down. Once he falls down, you can damage him by roping him up and dragging him into these spikes here. One of the more complex levels in the game, but nothing too challenging. It is a LEGO game after all. And now, the final level of the game, depending on the order you play it. But anyways, the final level of the game. The fight starts with lasers everywhere. How original. For this part of the fight, you have to hop on these 2 buttons to blow up rocks. Do this 3 more times and you've got a dead commie alien. Except there's 2 more phases. Okay, this phase has you doing the exact same thing, but it's sort of like the Reznor boss fight from Super Mario World, but in reverse. One more. In this final phase, I think you're supposed to shoot rockets at these rocks, causing them to hurt the commie, but I could never tell if I was causing any damage. Well, that's a bittersweet way to end the game. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Let's check it out. They have a level creator and a character creator? Woo! Here we have the hero of the story, protagonist, right next to their arch nemesis and foil, antagonist. Now, looking at the level creator, I made fire. So, that's all. This is the game that defined me as I grew up. Is it a perfect game? Well, now, I can truly say that it's not. But, is that a bad thing? I mean, it has flaws, and it has the most infuriating level design sometimes, but it raised me. If I had the chance, I would 100% this game again. In fact, I would 100% this game every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a month.
Do it then.
Okay. Okay, so it turns out Lego Indiana Jones 2 doesn't have very much nutrients, but, you know, after dying, it's really shown me how nostalgia can blind you. Thank you, Ghost of Christmas Present.
No, please. Call me Eb. Short for
Ebenezer?
No, short for epidermolysis bullosa.
What the heck?
Well, I'm glad you learned your lesson. I look forward to haunting you next year.
Next year?
You've grown a lot. I think you deserve to live this Christmas. You deserve to live this Christmas.
You know that.
Hey! It's Christmas! The season of love, joy, and gaming. This year, I'm gonna celebrate by doing all of the above. You know, I had the craziest dream last night, and I think it makes me want to play the best game ever made, Mario Party 9 for Nintendo Wii.